Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining me. This is Game God Fluent, bringing you episode 7 already. That fast of Let's Play Fabled Lands. I say that fast because it's about 5-6 a.m. today of day 1 of my Fabled Lands scheduled 3 days. So, yeah, pretty interesting that we're already on my rest day. We recorded about, 6 episodes. Well, 5, and this will be number 6. So let's get right into it. I'm gonna light a smoke. Alright, so what were we doing? We have 129 shards. The quests were a little too hard. I guess I was deciding to go to Marlock. I can't access my stash there without 200 coins. And I don't know if buying a stash in every single city is that good of an idea. So yeah, I'm not really sure what to do. We could go grind for more bags of pearls, but let's just head to Marlock and see what happens. Alright. We want a 3 or better. We don't want to lose a blessing with a 1 or 2. 5. Cool. Find a sword. We'll take it. Lucky find in the bushes near the road. Someone must have left in a hurry. As you stumble on an abandoned campfire and a fine sword laying on the ground. You continue onwards. Okay, we're not going to visit Trefoil. We can go to Cursed Moor or Marlock City. Let's head to Marlock City. Marlock City is a huge sprawling metropolis enclosed in a fortified wall said to have been built 1,000 years ago by the ancient Shadar Empire. It is the capital city of Sokara. Marlock City was once known as Sokar until General Grieve Marlock led the army in bloody revolt against the old king, Corin VII, and had him executed. The general renamed the city after himself. It is now a crime to call it Sokar. The general lives in the old king's palace and calls himself the protector general of all Sokara. Whereas the old king was corrupt, the general rules with a fist of iron. Some people like the new regime, others are royalists, still loyal to Nergan, the heir to the throne, who has gone into hiding somewhere. Outside the city gates hang the bodies of many dead people. Labels around their necks read rebels executed by the state for the good of the people. You'd best behave yourself if you don't want to end up like one of them, grates a guardsman, nodding towards the swinging corpses as you pass through the great eagle-headed gates of Marlock City. To leave Marlock City by sea or to buy or sell ships and cargo, go to the harbor master. Okay, we can't. Right, we can't visit our stash. So go to the trade guild. Can we? The Merchants Guild of Marlock City is a large, many-storied building of marble. Inside, many clerks and scribes are at work. Here you can bank your money for safekeeping or invest it in guild enterprises in the hope of making a profit. We can check on our investments. We have 100 shards invested. +1 if initiate of the 3 fortunes. We just have a +1 here. Let's wait until we get more information for that. Let's head to the market. We can sell the sword for only 20. And prices are a little jacked up here. Pretty expensive stuff. 4 to buy arrows. Wow. Wow. Everything is expensive. Cleansing flame. Hurl a pillar of holy fire upon an enemy. There's curse, raise the fallen, invigoration. But everything's a little expensive. We can go to the harbor. We could head back to Yellowport for 10 shards. That's pretty cool. Passage to Wishport for 10. I'm not sure where Wishport is. Alright, Go to the Three Rings Tavern. It's a comfortable inn near the city center. Let's buy drinks around the bar. An old troubadour tells an epic tale of adventure and romance involving 3 heroes, a princess, and a dragon. Afterwards, you find yourself talking to him at the bar. He tells you about the time he was captured by the man-beasts of Narek, and that by soothing their savage ferocity with music, he was able to escape. So I think these are important notes to be taking. Soothe the man-beasts of Narek with music. Just in case we're ever in these situations, you know? I think, like, we're getting some good information here. Continue. Oh, new quest. The bard tells you of his lifelong quest to find the greatest story ever told. It is said that the god, Sieg, in his aspect as the divine bard, passed his knowledge to a mystic called Damor the Hermit. He lives alone in a lost cave, awaiting the day when he can pass on the story to one who finds him. I am too old now to pursue the quest, so I pass it on to you. I believe he can be found in the foothills of the Spine of Harkoon. The mountains to the north. So that's our quest log. Hard. That's way up there anyway. Okay, but we have the quest log. We don't have to make a note of it. Let's head to the temples. The capital city of Sokara has 3 large temples nesting at different locations on its streets. In addition, it has one-of-a-kind House of Priests, which functions as the administration of the polytheistic religion of Sokara and Golnir. Huh. Let's visit the Temple of Sieg. The Temple of Sieg the Cunning, patron of vagabonds, troubadours, lovers, thieves, and rogues, is a ramshackle warehouse in the poor quarter. Inside, however, there is so much wealth it makes you gasp. The idol of Sieg, a saturnine, two-faced young human of indeterminate sex, is covered in gems. As you can see, we have been made rich by generous donations, says a black-robed priest. Becoming an initiate of Sieg gives you the benefit of paying less for blessings and other services. Also, you can add 1 to your thievery score, as Sieg will watch over your pilfering activities and keep you safe from the law. It costs 50 shards to become an initiate. You can't become an initiate if you're already with another temple. Seek a blessing. Costs 10 shards if you're an initiate, 30 shards otherwise. It works by allowing you to reroll any failed thievery attempt once. We have a pretty good thievery score, so I'm not too worried about that. Seek an audience with the High Priest. The High Priest takes you to a private chamber. You may be just what the temple needs, he says. A good old-fashioned thief. There's a suit of armor made entirely of gold. Ceremonial only, of course. Nevertheless, we would like to, have it donated to us. I see, you reply. And where is the armor? Well, that's the tricky part. It's in the temple of Tirnai in Karan Baru. In fact, it's worn by the idol of Tirnai himself in the temple. Can you bring us the gold chainmail of Tirnai? In return, we will instruct you in the roguish arts. We'll accept the mission. You accept the High Priest's mission. Leave the temple. That should be fun. Let's look for other temples. Alvir and Valmir. The Temple of Alvir and Valmir, divine rulers of the House of the Sea, is right on the teeming harbor of Marlock City. Its sea-green marbled porticos are draped in 100 silver nets. Brother and sister, Alvir and Valmir, rule below the waves. Alvir brings the souls of the drowned in the nets before his sister Valmir for judgment. A swaggering ship's captain emerges from the temple, saying to you in passing, Never go to sea without paying your respects to the twin gods, unless you want to sail through a world of storms. Right, we know that much. I mean, we might as well pay for it now. It protects us, allowing us to ignore one storm at sea. We can only have one at a time. We'll pay for it. That's good. Just to have it, in case we ever have to, do some sailing before we can find a temple. Elnir. The Temple of Elnir is a single spire reaching skywards. Eagles roost in its lofty belfry. They are sacred to the priests of the Sky Lord. Elnir is the divine ruler of the heavens, patron of statesmen and kings, and his sons are the Storm Lords. Thunder is the sound of the sons of Elnir smiting the cloud demons, says a passing peasant. Seek a blessing. 10 for an initiate, 25 for non. You'll obtain a charisma blessing. I think we already have a charisma blessing. Become an initiate to pay less for blessings and other services. And finally, the House of Priests. The House of Priests is an impressive building, a roundhouse of multicolored bricks. The myriad colors give it a bizarre and garish look, calculated to unsettle the visitor. Inside, 100 offices teem with the administration of the polytheistic religion of Sokara and Golnir. Pay 10 shards as a contribution in order to enter. Yeah, I guess we will. Notice has been pinned up in the foyer. Adventurer priest wanted, see the chief administrator. Naturally, you present yourself, and the chief administrator, a gray-whiskered priest of Elnir, takes you into his office. He shows you a special crystal ball that displays an aerial view of Marlock City. You notice several strange-looking clouds hanging over the city. They are shaped like gigantic demons reaching down to claw at the city laid out below them. "The crystal ball shows things as they are in the spirit world," explains the priest. "These storm demons cannot be seen under normal circumstances, but they are there, almost ready to destroy the city." He goes on to tell you that Sol Veneris, the divine lord of thunder, is one of the sons of Elnir, the sky god, chief among the gods. He is responsible for keeping the storm demons under control, and thunder is thought to be the sound of Sol Veneris smiting the demons in his wrath. "Unfortunately, the storm demons have found a way to put Sol Veneris into an enchanted sleep. He lies at the very top of Devil's Peak, a single spire of volcanic rock reaching up into the clouds. The peak lies north of Marlock City in the Cursed Moor. We need an enterprising adventurer to get to the top of the peak and free Sol Veneris from his sleep. But I must warn you that several priests have already tried, and we never saw them again." I mean, does it hurt to take the quest and not finish it? I guess the idea is just to keep gathering quests. You take up the quest, there is little else for you to do here, so you return to the city center. Like, we don't have any sanctity. So, it's only medium. Maybe we can do something with thievery or charisma for it. So we'll, maybe check that out. We did find the Devil's Peak. I could have went there before, but yeah, that's all the temples. We can go to the palace. The palace, the home of the Protector General Grieve Marlock, is an imposing building of astonishing luxury. You get as far as a huge reception area manned by many guards and staffed by government officials. You may proceed only if you have the title Protector of Sokara, otherwise you are thrown out. And we get the title from the other palace over in Yellowport. Let's go explore. You take a stroll through the streets. Marlock City is teeming with people. Let's enter the residential quarter. You come across a blazing house in the poorer area of town. A crowd is gathered, watching the flames impassively. A young girl runs up to you in tears. "My mother is inside. Please, please help her," she begs. The fire is raging hard, and you are not sure whether anyone could be left alive inside. Attempt to rescue. You charge into the burning building in search of the child's mother. You see her lying unconscious at the bottom of the stairs. Desperately, you try to get to her, but a burning beam has fallen across your way, and the smoke is making you choke. So we have to roll 7+ with 2 dice. And we don't have a luck blessing. Oops. Oh, it was a 7. Okay. Cool. It shows red here, but boom, lucky. With a heroic effort, you manage to get to the woman. Gathering her up, you run for the door and stagger out into the cool night air, smoke and flame licking at your heels. The townsfolk give you a rousing cheer, and the girl thanks you effusively for saving her mother. Later, it transpires that the woman is actually a powerful sorceress whose experiments in fire magic went slightly wrong. Her name is Alicia the Traveler, and she gives you a gift, a pale moonstone. Legendary item. Moonstone of Teleport. A gift from Alicia the Sorceress. This pale moonstone will teleport its bearer to Marlock City. Whoa. Alicia tells you that the moonstone... You can use the moonstone by rubbing it, and you will instantly be teleported to the vicinity of the sunstone, which she carries on a necklace. It will be here in Marlock City. Whenever you are desperate at the end of your tether, or just want to get here fast, use the moonstone and you will appear beside me. I will do everything in my power to aid you, and then my debt to you will be repaid. I wonder if it's a one-use item only. But that's pretty cool. Let's go ahead and save campaign as 7A. Like a get-out-of-jail-free card type deal. Let's go explore the Street of Entertainers. Psst, come here, friend, someone whispers from the shadows. Go over to him. Want to try your luck in the gambler's den? Asks a short, dark man dressed as a mercenary bodyguard. Just 5 shards entrance fee. He nods to a door at the top of some rickety stairs. Not right now. He shrugs and hisses at another passerby. You wander off and pass an uneventful evening. And let's explore the barracks area. Hopefully we don't get beat up. 3 drunken army officers accost you on the street. So, what have we here? Sneers one of them drunkenly. Out of the way, you stinking dog, says another, shoving you in the chest. Step out of the way. You decide that discretion would be the better part of valor in this case, and step aside. The officers laugh contemptuously and swagger past. Nothing else happens tonight, so... just curious if we did that again. Yeah. So we saved, so let's return the insult. You rebel swine, slurs one of them. Not showing proper respect to the army, says another. That can't go unpunished. They wade into you, intent on beating you into submission. We have a 41% chance. We have to roll... Is that a 5? Yeah, like an 8 or better. We failed. There are too many of them, and they give you a good hiding. Maybe that'll teach you some respect, one of them says as they swagger off, leaving you groaning in the gutter. You're reduced to only 1 stamina point. You decide to call it a night. We'll go to the 3 Rings Tavern. Rest until fully healed. Alright, so that's Marlock City. I guess we could try that again, but we don't have a great chance of doing it. Let's go explore barracks area, Marlock City. Need better combat. Alright, so from here, still can't access our stash. I guess we can do one of this medium quest, the Lord of Thunder, and head up to the top of the Devil's Peak. Seems like it would be pretty dangerous, and I don't know how our thieving skills are going to... Oh, it gains rank if a priest. +1 sanctity if not. So does the Golden Chainmail rank us up as a thief? It does. And 300 shards. Oh, that's very hard. We could keep trying in service of the druids. 1 rank if Wayfarer, +1 scouting if not. We have such a low chance to complete it, but if we keep getting lost in the forest and then coming down the roads and trying it again and again, like, I don't see what that would hurt. Let's come to Trefoil. Oh, I gotta avoid Trefoil because we lose a blessing. Woo! Uneventful journey. So let's keep trying to bang this one out. F5. I know it's only like a 10% chance or something. Oh, I don't have the oak staff. I keep forgetting the oak staff. There's Devil's Peak. Yeah, let's try it. Why not? You're crossing the western wilderness, an expanse of wild, sparsely populated countryside. A few trappers and woodsmen make a living from the natural resources of the area. A tall spire of rock, a towering anomaly of geology, rises up into the clouds, dominating the horizon. A local hunter tells you it's known as Devil's Peak, and that the summit is infested with demons. Well, it said it's only a medium difficulty. Climb the peak. I don't really have a lot of my gear on me. Really? Oh, we have climbing gear, which may help here. Climb the peak. You're standing at the bottom of Devil's Peak. It is a massive tower of black rock, like a stone tree trunk, bare and branchless, climbing up into the sky. You cannot see the top, for it is shrouded in gray clouds. Thunder and lightning play about the clouded summit. The sides of the peak are almost sheer, but there are many hand and footholds. It can be climbed, but only if you have some climbing gear. Okay. Make the ascent. You begin the ascent. Definitely make a thievery roll. Okay, we have an 83% chance. Oh dear. Failed. You make it only 50 feet up the sheer rock face before you lose your footing and fall to the ground. Okay, we lost 4 HP. Let's try it again. Successful thievery roll. The climb is long and hard. It is a sanctity roll. Dang it. But at last you heave yourself up to the top of Devil's Peak, a flat expanse of weathered black rock. You come across a strange sight. A man lies staked out on the ground, asleep. Blue energy crackles up and down his body, and a hefty-looking hammer, glowing red, is still attached to his belt. It is Sol Veneris, the one you have come to free. As you're about to lift the stakes, a whistling, keening blast of ferocious wind engulfs you. You are surrounded by whirling storm demons, vaguely man-shaped creatures of thunderous energy, which try to sweep you into the air and off the edge of the peak. You try to recite the rituals of dismissal associated with such demons. Oh, we're screwed. I mean, is there a blessing you can get that automatically passes something? Why this said meet? Oh my gosh, an 8% chance and we succeeded. Wow. The storm demons shrink back with a wailing, mournful cry like wind in the trees. The power of your faith is enough to repel them. You work free one of the stakes holding down Sol Veneris. Wow. Sol Veneris wakes up the moment you remove the stake. He rips the other stakes out of the ground and soars into the air with a shout like a clap of thunder. He swings his hammer around his head, and bolts of lightning leap forth to strike the storm demons. As he rises into the clouds in a pursuit of the demons, a bolt of lightning streaks from his hand and strikes you full force. You are thrown backwards, but to your amazement you are unhurt. In fact, you feel empowered by the blast. You gain 3 maximum stamina permanently. Wow. Nice. You have freed Sol Veneris, the Lord of Thunder. Okay, so we can leave the area. Dang, son. That's pretty sweet. I can't believe we passed that. Wow. From here, we can head down to Cursed Moor, which I don't know what that is. We only have 5 stamina, or we can head back to the forest and try to... Oh, I don't have the... Actually, we'll go to the tavern right now and sleep. Now let's head back to Yellowport. We'll go ahead and get this sword gone. We get to keep our climbing gear, which is nice. Let's hit our stash. Let's grab the oak staff, and we should probably put something away to make some room. Let's throw the wolf pelt in there, and the moonstone we can put like right here. Alright, cool. Maybe we can deposit like 60. Oh wait, do we want a blessing of anybody? Immunity to disease and poison. Okay, we could renounce our faith of Maka and go ahead and take Thievery, which gives us +1 Thievery plus re-rolling a Thievery. We'll just get our 10 shards for our blessing here. Alright, what are the other temples? Elnir. Charisma blessing. Tiernai. Combat blessing. Yeah, I'll pay 25 shards for it. There's that combat over in we just tried earlier. And let's kind of take like 25 shards out. And let's head back up and try to gang tackle this this scouting quest. Oh, don't get stung by a large golden insect. I forgot about this. Whew, nothing happens. Road Tavern. And we'll F5 right here. Head to the Forest of Laroon. Seek the Willow Druid. We have a 27% chance. Come on, big money, big money, big money. Oh, jeez. Failed scouting roll. We wander around for days. We're not going to mine for silver. We can head right back into the forest from here, so why not? We'll just keep... That's why this is considered not too hard. We can just keep trying. No, I don't want to use a blessing. Let's just... I mean, we're wasting days, but is there even a day counter? I don't see one. Like how many days it's been? So, they might not even be tracked. Let's keep trying. Boom, there it is. Successful scouting. You come across oh no, Sanctity. You come across a forest glade, birds twitter in the trees, and woodland animals frolic playfully about. In the middle of the glade stands a mighty willow, ancient beyond reckoning. The trunk is hollow and a wooden door has been set in the entrance. You step into the glade. I forgot to go turn in the quest from saving that dude, Veneris, so we would have got one more Sanctity. 41% chance. Failed. Your mind is blasted into numb confusion by the protective spells that guard the sacred grove. You wander off aimlessly into the forest and get hopelessly lost for days. You don't even have the wit to eat and drink. Where does this send us? Yeah, back up to the Bronze Hills. Dang, we succeeded this one. I gotta get back down to Marlock City to turn in the quest. We can keep trying here. Never saw what Venture Deeper did yet either. Oh my gosh. We are wandering around for days. Wow. At least there's no real penalty. Then we have to pass a Sanctity check. Oh my gosh. Maybe we should go get that other point of Sanctity. Let's come down here, just leave. Oh, I have to go. Oh, I can go to Devil's Peak, I think. Leave the area, head to the Road Tavern. No, we'll head to Cursemore, I guess. You are trekking across the aptly named Cursed Moor. A great rolling expanse of blasted heath stretches before you. Gray clouds hang over a mournful, dirty water-colored plain, studded with rocky outcrops and low hills. A raven flutters to the ground nearby, eyeing you curiously. His brothers caw loudly into the echoing sky. Dusk falls, and in the dim twilight, a herd of horses comes streaking out of the night straight at you. As they near, it seems to you that their hooves are not touching the ground, and from their manes trail wispy clouds of sparks like tiny stars. Can get out of their way or mount one of them. Let's mount one of them. You stand your ground. The ghostly horses stream past you on either side, neighing wildly at the sky. Nimbly, you leap at one and manage to wrap your arms around its neck and swing onto its back. The horse feels quite solid, but appears to be a luminous pale green color. You look up through a cloud of sparks emanating from the horse's mane just in time to see a rocky wall of a low hill looming up out of the evening mist. Your horse is galloping full tilt right into it. Hold on. The horse and you hit the wall. There's a bright flash, and you find you have passed straight through into the hill. It must be a fairy mound. The horse you are riding abruptly changes shape in a puff of smoke. You find yourself on the back of a little, knobbly-limbed, white-faced goblin who promptly collapses under your weight. You are in a cavern lit by mouse-sized fairy folk who flit about in the air, blazing like fireflies. The other horses have also galloped into goblins, or turned into goblins, elves and fairies of all shapes and sizes. "What have we here?" whispers a pale, dark-eyed elf woman dressed in silvery cobwebs and wearing a gold crown. "An overweight mortal sitting on poor old Gobrash, your majesty," groans the goblin you are sitting on. You realize you are in a great danger here. There's no telling what the fairy folk will do to you. The queen signals to her people, and they close in around you ominously. Okay, we have a 41% chance of a sanctity roll. Oh, failed. The goblin folk swarm over you. You try to put up a fight, but there are too many of them. Everything goes black. When your sight returns... Failed quest in service of the druids. You wake up spluttering, face down on a beach. A wave has just soaked you. "Going for a swim, are we?" asks an old woman who's gathering shells on the beach. You learn from her that a month has passed since your adventure in the fairy mound, and you can remember none of it. You gain 3 stamina. You're now back to full stamina, however you realize you've lost all the money and items you were carrying. Instead, you have a wolf pelt that you're wearing, some rat poison, and a silver nugget. The old lady tells you that you're on the delta of the River Grim. Oh, heck no. Let's go ahead and quick load. I mean, if I didn't fail the quest, maybe I would try that. We can always do this again. Let's get out of their way. The horses rush past you. They seem to gallop through the air, whinnying and neighing, bellowing at the twilight sky. Soon they disappear from your sight. You make your camp, and the next day continue your journey. So what I want to do... Oh, did Cursemore disappear? No. I want to check to see if that quest is always going to be there. No, it's not. So actually, we have a one-time shot to do this. That's interesting. I shouldn't even go there yet. I have no choice. We saved here. Oh, boy. Mount one of them. Hold on. Okay, we just have to make this sanctity roll or keep loading until we do. Alright, successful sanctity. You recite a devotional prayer to the gods, calling on your faith to aid you. The goblin folk are repelled by your piety and purity of spirit. Even Gobrash finds the strength to get out from under you and run off, such is your effect on them. "Yeah!" snarls the queen, recoiling. "Please, your godliness is harmful to us. Here, take this and leave." A judge of fairy mead and an enchanted spear, combat +2, are pushed towards you. Fairy mead is pretty common. Deceptively sweet honey aroma with hints of delusion and bitterness, and a strong finish of oblivion. And an enchanted spear, whoa, 4 to 7, +2 combat, 2 range. It takes 5 points, action points, and it's rare. Those who dare to assail you will be swiftly disenchanted with the idea. The wall behind you shimmers and disappears. You step through back into the cold night air of the Cursemore. You leave the fairy mound far behind and camp for the night. The next day you resume your travels. Pretty cool. Let's F5 now and head back to Marlock City. We'll head to the inn actually and rest until fully healed, and go turn in at the temple, which is I think it was Sieg, right? Oh no. It was the House of Priests? Wait, I forget who gave me... What quest was it? The Thunderlord. It was actually Elnir. Wait, wasn't it? What in the world? Pinned up in the foyer. Grey Wisp, Priest of Elnir. So wait a minute. It's not visit the Temple of Elnir? Maybe it's the Temple of Priests, it must be. Or the House of Priests. Pay 10 shards. The Chief Administrator, is overjoyed to see you. The priests already know you have been successful in freeing Sol Veneris, the Lord of Thunder, because their crystal ball shows them that the storm demons have been driven away. As a reward, you receive the tuition of several high priests. You gain 1 sanctity permanently. Visit me anytime, says the Chief Administrator when you leave. Nice, so that's going to be very helpful. Getting us extra sanctity. Can we visit for free now? No. Alright, so the market is still very expensive here. How much would they pay me for this? 380 for the enchanted spear. Can't sell the fairy mead. Holy trinket. Well, honestly, I should probably put that on. Can I still... I wonder if I can still complete my Shadow Dash skill. Rush past your target's defenses in the blink of an eye and backstab them for 80% max weapon. All it requires is a base thievery of 6. So it doesn't actually say that it requires any sort of weapon. So check these stats as we put this on. This is going to be a nice upgrade. Wait. Didn't upgrade anything. Oh, we're not switched to it. Here we go. Boom. 8 to 18. Damage 4 to 7. Nice. Combat goes from 5 to 6 up here. Alright, pretty nice. I'll stick with the bow for now. I want to make sure I can still do my skills if I put that on. I mean, it seems it's not grayed out or anything. Alright. I don't want to sell the katana just yet. Oh, we can't. Can't sell anything, so we should really just head back to Yellowport right now. And then head back to that Druid Grove when we can. Oh, let's go to the harbor. 10 shards to Yellowport. We shouldn't have to deal with any storms, right? Let's press F5. And let's go. Yeah. A sleek yacht takes you on a trouble-free journey to Yellowport. Pretty simple. I don't think there's anything new going on over here. Let's see, the ferry mead. See, I want to carry this stuff to understand what it's used for, but it's taking up precious inventory space. Exotic feather. I hope they sell for something. Heck, even 50 apiece would be sweet. We'll keep the oak staff on us, the moonstone. And we'll try to sell the katana, I guess. Well, you know what we should do, actually? Press F5. Let's see how long we've been playing. 40 minutes. Alright, so let me quickly just test this in combat. We'll go ahead and hit the merchants, hit the cannibals again here, and see how the spear works, if I can, like, quote-unquote backstab with it. Swap weapons and shoot you. Critical hit, 5 damage. Look at the protection we have. Critical hit, 5 damage. Okay, we'll throw poison on you. And, I'll go ahead and move back. He died. Swap weapons. Okay, we can still, looks like we can use it. Nice. Can still use it with the spear. We did 5 damage on that. Beautiful. So we get a quick 100. Another exotic feather. Very quickly, we'll do this. So I want to say thank you guys for joining me. Pretty awesome episode, right? We had quite the successes. We freed the Thunder God, Soul Veneris. We overpowered the fairies that were trying to do something to us. We got a fairy mead and a very enchanted spear. We gained sanctity. Did a lot. So thank you guys so much for watching. Like I said, I hope you enjoyed this video, but I also hope you're enjoying the game, and I hope you'll join me for more, because this is just the start of our 3-day journey together. So we're going to get plenty of episodes in. It's going to be a lot of fun. So hope to see you guys next time. Much love, peace, and joy. Take care, and as soon as I deposit this 65, I will save, and see you guys next time. Bye-bye.